This is an outside door handle of an NB Miata, and I replaced mine that was broken there. Got one off eBay. Looks pretty good, good shape. And it comes without the lock, but I'm going to switch it out anyway. So I've switched it already, and just going to maybe show some things that might be helpful to you. I looked on YouTube to see if there were some specifics about the NB Miata door lock, and didn't find anything, so well, I'll just show you what I know. There may be quicker, easier ways to do it. I don't know. This is my first time to do it, and I don't think I'll be doing it again, so I'll remind myself by looking at this if I had to do it again. Okay, so there's other videos on how to get it all out, releasing the clips, to pull the arms out, flipping them up and pulling the arms out. And just to a reminder that if you're trying to get this nut off that's in the back, there's a little access hole that you can pull the plug out of the door. It was on mine anyway, on an NB, and then I could stick a 10 millimeter with a long arm socket and take off that nut. And your whole thing might come out, depending on how lubricated your threads are, but it's okay. You just free it up and put it all back together. But anyway, okay, this is it. So I'll show you to get the lock assembly out of here. Well, when you turn it over, there's one Phillips screw here that has this little cover. This is a very thin plastic cover, and right here I've taken this screw off. The lock is out, but I'm just going to show you this. It's probably good to go ahead and lift that out of there. Well, yeah, you need to get to this spring that's holding your lock assembly. This is the spring that's holding the lock assembly, and you might want to look at it a little while to familiarize yourself. Okay, there's a flat side here, and then this is the more the rounded side. So when you're putting your spring back on, just remember, okay, the flat's going to be on this side, and just look at the lock and how it fits in there, so that when you put it all back in, there's probably only one way to go in, but it's okay. So just familiarize yourself with the way the lock goes in, and notice the little cover. It's on top of this spring, so that's why we need to move the cover off to get our spring out, so we can pull the lock assembly. So when you take your screw out, what we're going to be doing is then opening the handle, and when you open the handle, then you can move this little flap over. Okay, and yours might come out completely, or which I could on this one, but I'm leaving it in. But there's a little lip. It's actually underneath this. It's actually underneath. I could pull it out right now, but I'm just going to leave it in. And so what you'd want to do is go ahead and take your Phillips out, Phillips screw. And don't lose it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull the door handle open. You can move this out of the way. Pull it over. Now we can just rotate this plastic cover out of the way, and then I'm going to release the lock, and so now it's out of my way. Yes, you can get it all the way, pull it all the way out, but you don't really need to. If you want to just move it out of the way temporarily so that you can get your spring out and your lock assembly, well, then that would be the way to do it. Okay, and suppose yours comes out completely, you know, or whatever. So watch, let's see how it's underneath this pad. So here, if yours happens to come out, you know, say your whole nut and screw came out, and you're bending it up and it came out. Well, okay, you don't have to panic. Just when you're putting it back in, you're going to want to lift up this little spacer and slip it back under there. But anyway, I'm just going to show you this little clip. You have some edges on here. You have a very sharp, straight edge in there, and that is going to go right into this little notch right here. You see that little notch? That's where the end of this little plastic is going to slip right in there. The small end, and in the long end, it's going to go over here on the outside, and then slip underneath this little tab. This is your weather stripping gasket. Okay, but we're not doing that on this because we don't have to. Okay, so we've gotten that out of the way. Now we can release our spring to get our lock assembly out. So you get a screwdriver, and right here's a flat spot. Just go ahead and pry that up. See how that's prying up? Just prying up this one side. Remember, that's where it's going to go back down. Okay? And once you have that side up, you might be able to just pull it all the way up on one side. Okay, and then just release the other side. Just going to pull it, release it. Get it over this lip. Okay, and now we've released the spring. So here it is. Once again, see, we have our round side is on here, and the flat side is going to go right in here. Okay, so once we have that, then we can go ahead and pull our lock assembly out. And there it is. So if I were putting it into this one, this area, this little notch is going to be sliding into here. Okay, so we're going to be sliding it right back in. There's only one way it could go in, so you'll figure it out. Okay, now it's in back all the way. You don't have to take this off. And now it's time to put our spring back on. Well, I don't want to put it in my old one. I want to put it in my new one. So, okay, like here's my new one. I'm going to slide it in here, in the notch. Fits down snug. And now I can put my spring on. So I'm going to slip it around the arm, and the round side's going to go on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and just position it that way and start my round side down a little bit. My flap, this cover's out of the way, and I've got the spring on, and I can put my finger on it to hold that side down, and then we're going to pull the other side over the lock, and you'll have to get you're holding down this side. It's going to stay down anyway, and then we're going to pry this spring over here. Okay, it's going on, but the bottom isn't, so I'm going to have to pry that back over. And I'm not sure which side, depends on which side is down first, I don't know. But it might make a difference. Okay, it's slid in there. I'm going to push this down. Okay, I'm going to put this on this side of the spring. Okay, that's why it's good to orient yourself with it. Well, maybe it doesn't matter, but it could be on one side or the other. I don't really know because I don't remember how it was originally, but there's enough space in here for both springs, whether this one's on top or the bottom. I don't think it makes a difference. Okay, it's lying flat. It's going back into the groove. It's going flat over, and everything is down about the same level. Thing looks flush. Okay, we've got our lock in, and it's stable. Okay, now we're going to pull our door handle back open, and we can slide our cover back over to where it was, because now it's going to go over the spring. Okay, releasing the handle, and is it going in our little groove? Yeah. So when it goes into that thin groove, then you know you're right. Okay, now but the outside, it should be on the outside of this cover. So I'm going to pull it back up. And put this on the outside. Make sure that's going on the outside. Okay, so this little cover right here is on the outside. And our thin pieces in its groove. Everything is lining up. Now we can put our screw back in. Okay. Check everything out. Make sure everything feels firm, nothing's flimsy, and nothing is in the way of the travel. So these can be replaced. You just squeeze them and pull them out, and they can be replaced if you happen to break yours. But just look and see how they turn when you're pushing them open. And this one's here, you're pushing it open. But there's other videos out there that should explain it more. And then when you put it back in your vehicle, you're probably going to have to go in at an angle to get it into your opening and get it in there. Okay. So, you may not have needed any of that information, but if you're like me, I will try to get anything that's out there if it's going to help me later. So for whatever it's worth, there it is.